Hello, 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 good stat people. Mr. Klein here. I am going to teach you today about how to work with random numbers in Google Sheets. You should be on problem set 2.9, and you should be on the tab that says Generating Random Numbers. First thing we need to do is understand what random number means to Google Sheets. To Google Sheets, a random number is anything between 0 and 1, meaning that we won't get any numbers smaller than 0. We won't get any numbers that are bigger than 1, but that all the numbers between 0 and 1, like 0.5 and 0.6 and 0.7, all of those are equally likely. It's a very simple formula that you use in order to get it. Oh, by the way, we should note what kind of formula or what kind of distribution are we looking at here? Since all values are equally likely in the range that was given, this is a uniform distribution. Put that in. Now, let me show you how to generate one of these numbers. You're going to go to cell A13. You type $rand for random, and then you put a parenthesis on it. You can put another parenthesis on if you want, but that last one is technically not required. And you hit enter. And sure enough, I got 0.112807225, which is a number between 0 and 1. Hey, now you go and do that on your copy of this sheet, and you're going to notice something. The thing you're going to notice is that your number's probably different than mine. In fact, watch this. Imagine I was to delete and then enter rand. See, again, now I'm going to get a different number. And in fact, here's the craziest thing. If I go to the next cell and I type rand again, not only am I going to get a different number in that cell, I'm going to get a different number in the cell above. In fact, Google Sheets has things configured, and I'm not sure why it has to be this way, so that every time you enter something into a cell, all of the random numbers change. So if I come over here and I type into this cell sitting off to the side, notice that over here, my two numbers changed. And if I do it again, they will change again. So this is one of the frustrating things about working with random numbers in Google Sheets is that they keep regenerating. So what we would like to do is put a random number into every cell that is in this highlighted area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the formula that is in A14. And then I'm going to roll all the way down to the end of the shaded region, which is, well, I really outdid myself here, didn't I? All the way down to A651. I'm going to paste. It's going to give me a whole bunch of random numbers. Next thing I'm going to do is I am going to graph them. So you want to select the entire region. And then you want to go up to Insert Chart. Give it a second, and it's going to give you something that looks all kooky. Actually. Ooh, Mr. Brazel's calling me. Just a second. Hey, I'm back now. Just talked to Mr. Brazel. What a fine man. Where were we? Oh, yeah, I think we were highlighting all of this business. And then we are going to generate a graph, and it's going to look insane. And then let's choose the right kind of graph over here. We want something that looks like a histogram. Where is the histogram? Here it is. Okay. All right, so you can see it looks sort of uniform, right? Like some are a little lower than others, but like sort of across the board. If I just let's type yo in again. Nope, and then Y, and then Y, and then Y. And you'll see that it's bobbing up and down and changing and moving around and all that. And sometimes you don't want that to happen, right? You would like your data to stay stable. Well, let me show you how we can do that. Let's suppose I want the random numbers that I've got right now. What I'm going to do is I am going to Control copy them, and then I am going to go right here and I want to paste. And this time when I paste, I just right-clicked. You can also get the same menu by going up to Edit. I'm going to go to Paste Special. If you paste values only, looks like you can also get this by going Control-Shift-V. Now, notice that when I am in the left row, see how right here, what's actually in the cell is equals rand, but over here, it's the actual number. So if I were to graph these data in this column here, oh look, Mr. Brazel is looking at this spreadsheet. What a fine man. This time, the same thing, go down to the, what you'll notice, there's my two graphs, is that if I keep entering things, one of them is going to change, and the other not. Okay. So if you ever want a fixed set of numbers that's not going to move around, you use that paste format that I just showed you. On to the next thing. Most of the time, we are not interested in uniform sets of random numbers. Instead, what we want are normal random numbers, because most things in the world, at least in nature, follow some sort of normal distribution. Right? So we can do this. We're going to have to work just a little bit harder in order to do it. So you use this formula, equals norm inv, and then you enter three things. Rand, that's always the same, and then comma, and then the mean, comma, and then the standard deviation. So for example, let's suppose I wanted to make this distribution right here. This is a standard normal distribution. It has a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. I could produce numbers that are randomly from this distribution by going norm inv, and then rand, and then 0 is my mean. You should see it turn blue. 1 is my standard deviation. You see that turn blue. You hit the end parenthesis. So there's the formula. I'll just pause for a second. You can pause the video and make sure you get that typed in. When I hit enter, I'm going to get a number that's on that distribution. Same thing here. As soon as I paste it, they're all going to change. And let's copy all the way down. Oh, come back. That didn't go as well as I thought it would. Let's try it again. Still didn't go as well as I thought it would. One more time. I think it's because I was highlighting the row markers. There we go. Okay. So now we've got a whole bunch of standard normal numbers, and we want to graph them again. So we're going to highlight, and we're going to go over to here. And oh, this time it knew to give me a histogram. That is super helpful. All right. And you'll notice that unlike last time, where the numbers were sort of evenly distributed between 0 and 1, here you can see that they're all spread out, where most of them are within one standard deviation of the middle, and then we have these tails on either side. Same game if I was to type something into a cell, we would get a new distribution. Ooh, that one looks nicer. And then a new distribution, and then a new distribution, and a new distribution. Okay, so bear in mind that you need to use that paste format, or sorry, paste numbers only. Is that what it's called? What is it called? Paste values only. This one right here, if you want it to be fixed and not changing around. One more, I'll get you started on this one, and then I'm going to leave you to do the rest. It says to produce a set of female heights in the pink space and produce a set of male heights in the blue space. Up here it says, according to a 2016 study, female height in America is normally distributed with a mean equal to 64 inches and a standard deviation equal to 2.4 inches. Male height is also normally distributed with a mean of 69 inches, that's 5'9", and a standard deviation of 3 inches. So here's how I would get the female heights. It says that they are normal. That means that I need to type in norm in, and then type in rand. And then I just entered the mean and the standard deviation that were given. So it said the mean for the females was 64 inches, which is 5'4", and their standard deviation was 2.4. There's my first female random number. Okay. Right here, I could do the same thing for the male numbers. So norm inv rand, and then it was, there's our mean, there's our standard deviation. Now you'll notice that every time I enter here, I'm getting a new pair of numbers. What this tells us is that like men are on average taller than women, but it won't happen every time. Like right here, you can see that in this case, the female is taller than the male. Enter again, now the male is taller. Now the male is taller. Now the male is taller, male taller, male taller, male taller, male taller, male taller. And if I kept going, eventually I get one where the female is taller again. So anyway, they're moving around. Fun stuff. All right, I want you to follow the rest of these directions, produce a graph. You're going to use Stapplet for the graph this time because you're doing both of these distributions. And then I want you to complete this practice here, and then you'll be done.